Hello students, today we are going to start chapter 7 Contentment of Moral Science. Contentment is the state of being happy and satisfied. It's being satisfied with what we have and whatever that is. Now let's start the story of two boys who always wished to have the luxuries of the life, but later they came to know the significance of contentment. There were two cousins, Yash and Varun. They both were 12 years old and lived with their respective parents in a small village. Their fathers were farmers and worked together on a small piece of land where they grew rice. And twice a year after the harvest, Yash and Varun used to accompany their fathers to sell the rice in the city. Like most boys of their age, Yash and Varun were also fond of finer things of life. And the bright lights, the big houses, the fast buses, and the motorcycles attracted them. So, after helping their fathers unload the rice, the boys took 10 rupees given by their fathers and walked the streets looking at the big shops with the wide eyes. Then they returned late in the evening after eating full of delicious sweets and samosas. As Yash and Varun used to live in a small hut, and their huts had only 2 rooms each, and they used to complain when they had to walk to school every day. So often the two of them used to sit on a rock some feet away from their huts and dreamed of living in a bright, shiny new house and going to school on a cycle. One day, the two of them were sitting on the rock, daydreaming and watching the beautiful sunset. Just then, something caught Varun's attention. Far away on top of a nearby hill, Varun saw something shining, looked like a house made of gold. Then Varun told Yash to see that and explained him that must be a big and shiny house like the ones in the city, so that must be made of gold. Then Yash told Varun to go to the golden palace as they never noticed that before. So he shouted and set on towards the house, and by breathing loudly they both ran to the hill very fast because they wanted to get to the house as quickly as possible. But when they reached the top of the hill, they couldn't see the golden palace. Then Varun looked all around, so he found stood an old deserted hut in the place of the shiny house. So he was shocked and thought that was it magic that had suddenly turned the house into that old hut. Then the two disappointed boys went back towards their huts, and when they looked at their huts, they saw that in place of the huts there was beautiful shining golden houses. Then Yash shouted that their huts had turned into a shining golden house. So they started running towards their new houses. But when they reached the huts, they found that the shining golden houses had disappeared. In fact, the hut on the top of the hill was again shining in the distance. Then Varun smiled and told Yash that they are so foolish, and explained him that the houses were not made of gold. That was only the sun's rays that made the houses shine like gold from a distance. Then he told Yash that they should be happy with what they have, and if they keep running after something that doesn't really exist, they may lose what they have. So let's be content what they have and try to improve their luck by hard work and not by wishing for better things. After that, they went back to their huts and started their work. After that, the two cousins worked hard, and many years later, one became an engineer and the other a doctor. And they used to live in a big house in the city. And even today, they used to sit together and talk about the Golden Palace and the lesson they learned from it. So, students, contentment is only real wealth. And being content doesn't mean that we desire more and should not work hard. It simply means that we are thankful for what we have and patient for what's to come. Thank you.